Wow, glorious day in the park here in Manhattan, Central Park. So let me just start with, let's just begin at the beginning, right? I think that's the best place to start, right? And kind of the absurdity of it all, and yeah, and how crazy it all is. So first of all, two people decided to fuck. You know, they were married, they weren't married, they were having a fun night, whatever. They decided to fuck, and boom, and suddenly you're in a race with 10,000 sperm to fertilize the egg, and you won because you're here, right? So you arrive, and when you arrive, you're like, you're just pumped with so much divine potential. You're just like ready to just like flourish and blossom. And those kind of first years between 0 to 7 are incredibly treacherous, because you didn't decide to come and you didn't choose who you came to. You just came. And when you're actually kind of cooked in the oven, or when you're out being cooked in that environment, whether you're here or in sort of pygmy village in Africa, you're going to get basically stamped with whatever it is the culture's about, the people, and the family that you grow into. Now, you don't know anything about that. You don't know who they are. They're just dumping all their stuff on you, and also a lot of their dysfunction. I suppose in a normal situation, you're kind of nourished and loved, and it's kind of like, you have a regular, it's like a flower. You blossom to the full potential of your blossoming, your divinity. However, if there's trauma or something really horrific happens, or there's emotional abandonment, or you're physically hurt, whatever, the thing that should never happen to children, then you fragment. And why? Because your little tiny brain cannot take the hell, it can't take the pain, it can't take the horror, it doesn't understand it. And like, when in-laws come over, I don't have any, but if they did now, I used to, you kind of, what the little child does is it's like triage. It sticks all the shit under the bed. It doesn't mean it goes away, it just means I can't handle it, got to put it over there. And the universe is really clever, because it knows that you have to survive at all costs. So it's going to make a way for you to survive. I mean, some people don't. It's too overwhelming, and it comes back to haunt them later. And all the stuff doesn't go away. It doesn't mean, just because I stick it under the bed, it's gone. No, you'll have repercussions of it in a different way, whether it's anxiety or fear or whatever. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't just like miraculously kind of cancel out, because it's energy. It's all energy, so it's still working in some manner. So yeah, 0 to 7, it's almost like it's like a jumbled kind of movie sequence of stuff. Some things you'll remember, some things you'll not. You might remember anything. I certainly couldn't remember anything, other than one thing, which was going up the side of this boat which we've traveled to from Spain to London, and the terror of falling in between the steps. That was like fucking terrifying. So we get cooked, we put all our trauma away. It doesn't go away, it's energy. And then we just go repeat what we've learned. And we're like robots. We just go and we're like meat robots. Is that what they call us, right? We just go and repeat the same family situation. Everything gets repeated, because that's what we're kind of like, we're imbibed with. We're kind of like, we're kind of marinated in. And it's a form of being marinated, right? Like meat. So once that happens, then you just go repeat the same code over and over and over. And what's amazing is that, when trauma happens, is that you literally build a person to hide it. It's what it feels like. It's like an airbag. It's like something gets built that completely refuses what happens, because it even though it's wrong and horrible, it's you can't, there's nothing to challenge it. This is the only reality you know. It's got to be okay, and you have to survive. So that's it. And the incredible thing about ayahuasca, if you let it change you, and it, God knows it goes on forever, is that it literally disassembles and reassembles you. And I know that's a really weird thing to say, but I'm going to tell you about what happened to me, because I wonder if it's, you have to sort of believe in it, and you have to surrender. It's very difficult to surrender this huge thing that's been built in order to never, I mean, it's so tightly built, it's never going to let go of the true story. It's going to find all sorts of distractions. My story is quite simple. I went through a really bad divorce, left with nothing. It was just horrific. I lost absolutely everything. And I thought it was like numero uno, like it was the thing. And my journey towards ayahuasca was quite a long process, because I started doing meditation, which is a way of like, okay, how the fuck did all this happen? You know, how could I end up literally on the street with nothing? You know, here I am, like, you know, I'm a bougie, like a creative type, and I'm in New York, and I was brought up in London, like this, none of this makes sense, you know, in the kind of identity world that would be like, oh yeah, you know, nothing can ever go wrong. Not, and fuck, and that's what I'm saying, is the way that we stylize these exteriors, and I don't know who does it, I have no idea, it must be evolution. I mean, the way we stylize these identities that really are nothing to do with who we are. I mean, I always think, you know, I'm literally, you know, I may sound like the Queen, but I was born in the projects. I was like in the worst fucking projects of New York, because it was so disgusting what I came to discover. So yeah, divorce, meditation, you know, the usual, you run into the kind of spiritual guru types who are just revolting, just like the wannabes, like, no, you know, and just decided to do it at home on my own, you know, no title. It's like the no-name brand, right? You just do it on your own. And it was literally when my son was 18 and he graduated that I had the most incredible Kundalini experience. It was just phenomenal. It was weird. I thought I was dying. My bed, massive like amounts of energy just circulating in my system, and I was like, this is it, it's over, I'm gonna die tonight. I'd never experienced anything like it, never knew. And then I heard it was something called Kundalini, whatever. It was a massive opening, and I thought, oh, this is a big opening, right? Things are gonna like, suddenly everything's gonna be okay. But no, later on I realized it was just the tip of the iceberg. It was just the tip of the iceberg. I thought it was a monumental experience to have. You feel like you're a computer code, like you're literally being rebooted. That's how the power of that energy was. I think that having done meditation for so long, I mean, for like 15 years, it was literally 5 minutes and it ended up being 45 minutes every day, had built so much energy. And at the same time, I actually began to, you know, meditation is like a viewing platform. So you really begin to see how you're made and what you think. It's really bizarre. Like I remember one occasion when somebody was really angry because I of course got the wrong place to meet, and they arrived and I was literally trembling. I'm like, why am I trembling? I didn't kill anyone. I'm just, this is a misunderstanding of where we're supposed to be. It's not anything else. And you know, I realized that you start taking everything back, that it's something, it's not triggering now. Everything is just sitting there from when you were very little. And in meditation, it slows the whole process of how you think down. So as you know, before, the bees are just coming at you. They're on ice skates and they're just coming at you all the time. And meditation allows you to actually see what's actually going on, how you're responding. And again, everything, it's your response to everything. It's not that it's out there and it's happening, it's just that you're responding. in your particular way because of the way that you were coded and you were conditioned. And so the great thing about